Cursor IDE has a lot of AI models available. In this video, I will show you how to select the best model for your needs. Also, I will show you how to run agent in parallel with multiple models, testing them all at once and selecting the best one. Okay, in Cursor to select model, you want to click on Auto and turn on Auto mode, which automatically selects model for you. I usually don't use auto mode and just prefer to test and select models myself. So, and here we can see a number of different models available. And if we click on add models, it will open settings where we can add even more models. And there are a lot of different models, I would say, especially GPT with all their different variations of codex and non-codex models. In order to better understand the difference between different models, I propose to go to cursor.com/docs/models, and here you will see a list of available models at the moment in Cursor. So let's just look at this table and what we see here. So default context for each model is how many tokens we can use with this model. It is usually limited to around 200,000 tokens, which is pretty reasonable, I would say. Max mode allows you to extend this default context to the largest context available in the model. For example, for Claude 4.5, we have 200,000 tokens here, but in max mode we can do 1 million token. In my experience, even though a model can support 1 million token, it's not the thing you want to use very often, because the more context you give to a model, the more files, the more the longer the conversation in the chat, the more it will hallucinate and the worse results you will get. So that's why I usually stick to default context and not max mode. Now models also differ in terms of capabilities. So first thing we're interested is if the model can use tools. And you can see that almost all models here, they can use tools, except probably Haiku 4.5. Tool calling is when a model can run some specific tool or function which does something. Usually when you add an MCP adds a number of tools to your agent. MCPs don't make sense with Claude 4.5 Haiku, but for the rest of the models, they're fine. Now, the second parameter is use reasoning tokens or use thinking mode. Again, almost all the models now come with thinking mode, which is good and which is useful when you want to solve more complex problems or create like plans for huge features, etc. The last parameter I think is crucial, whether the model accepts images or not. And again, most of the models nowadays, they accept images. So this is very useful where you can just drag and drop a screenshot or an image of something, of some design into your conversation, into your agent in Cursor, and it will take it into account. Now, it's also very important to consider model pricing. For Cursor, how it works is that they give you $20 of usage at the moment. And then you spend this usage according to these prices on selected models. I think it's important to distinguish between input and output. So output is kind of what code is generated or what chat messages are generated, while input is all your code files, all your previous conversation with the agent. And I think most of the money in coding usually is spent on the output, because when you generate code, you use a lot of output tokens. And here you might want to find a model which is better in terms of pricing. Which models I usually use? So first, Composer One, it's a model made by Cursor. It has comparable, maybe slightly worse quality than Claude Sonnet 4.5, but it's way faster. So I quite like Composer One. Opus and Sonnet are models made by Claude, the same as Haiku, and I usually use Sonnet and Haiku. Haiku is a cheaper version, so I use it for like small tasks, and Sonnet I use for larger tasks. Sometimes I use GPT and Gemini, but not very often. How do you actually select model for your task? I think the best way is to run multiple models in parallel. So you want to click here, use multiple models, and now you can select multiple models to implement a feature. When you run models in parallel, you then can compare results and select the best code based on the layout of your website or based on how model treats comments, because some models, they leave more comments, some models, they leave less comments. So let's see how it works. I have this test website called Interview Prep. In this website, I can enter job description, and then I can do a mock interview based on this job description. Let's say I want to change the design of this website and make it as it was made 25 years ago. Make the website to look like it was built 25 years ago. So I select agent mode. I selected 3 models: Composer 1, Sonnet 4.5, and Gemini Flash. Let's run the prompt. And now you see that you have 3 runs in parallel. You can switch between those. What is cool about this feature is that it works using Git work trees, so it doesn't affect your main code base for now, but it works kind of in separated like code base. And then once something is ready, you can review the code and apply it to your main code base and see the changes. Now you can see that Composer 1 is ready, so you can review all the code here in diffs for all the files, all the changes it made, or you can click apply, which will apply changes made by Composer specifically to your main code base. Now let's switch to the website, and you can see the design, you can see our previous conversations, so I would say quite reasonable. Now we see Gemini 3 Flash is ready, so we want to test that as well. We click here, undo apply, go to Gemini and click apply here. Okay, and you see that something is wrong, so we can click copy on this error message, go to this agent, enter this error, run. Okay, it fixed the build, and now you can see the new design, which I think is quite fun. Wow, and this is what you have if you apply Sonnet. So you can see that 3 different models, they provided completely different results, and they all were run in parallel. So now you can select based on the UI and also based on code style you can see in the diff. And also here in Cursor, you can commit these changes right from here, all the files, and open pull request if you want, while commit message is automatically generated for you. This was all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.